First of all, for those of you who are out of area media who aren't used to the rules that we have here in Kansas relating to what prosecutors can disclose, I'll start out with the standard disclaimer that everything said in this press conference this morning is informational purposes and that both defendants are innocent until proven guilty by a court of law. Secondarily to that, as it relates to statements that I can make, everything that I can give to you at this point in time or communicate to you at this point in time, I will. If you ask a question that I don't answer or tell you that I can't answer, it's not because I don't want to. It's because of the Supreme Court rules that govern what we can talk about ahead of prelim or before that information becoming available in a court of law. Let's get started. Yesterday afternoon, charges were filed against Ross Preston Lane, Shawnee County case number 14 CR 1795. The warrants were executed last night, and the arrest returns were filed this morning in the Shawnee County District Court. Mr. Lane was charged with count 1 of capital murder of a law enforcement officer under KSA 21-5401A5. This is an off-grid person felony. We're about the 7th day of September 2014 in the state of Kansas, county of Shawnee. Ross Preston Lane did then and there intentionally and with premeditation kill a law enforcement officer, to wit, Corporal Jason Harwood, contrary to the form of the statutes in such case made and provided against the peace and dignity of the state of Kansas. In addition to that, Mr. Lane was also charged with criminal possession of a firearm under KSA 21-6304A3A. The third count was possession of stolen property against Mr. Lane, which was the stolen firearm, the .40 caliber pistol in question. Second defendant that's been charged in this matter is Randy Allen Riddens Jr. Likewise, his complaint was filed yesterday. He is under Shawnee County case number 14 CR 1796. Mr. Riddens Jr. is charged with obstructing apprehension or prosecution of a felony, a level 8 non-person felony in the state of Kansas. In addition to that, he was also charged with possession of stolen property, a level 9 non-person felony. This investigation is still pending and ongoing at this particular point in time, and more information will be coming in as we move forward. Obviously, the court set the deadline on us to have these cases on file yesterday, and we were able to meet the court's deadline by doing so. As all of you are aware, there was a change in the statutory structure last legislative cycle that allows the media the opportunity to make requests to the clerk of the district court's office wanting access to the affidavits associated with the prosecution of this case. What I will tell you is that we have already begun the redaction process to go through to try to expedite that for our media partners. So what I would advise all of you to do who want that information is to make your request to the clerk of the district court's office under the appropriate statute, so that way we can keep track of what media outlets want the information, because it has to be done through the court. We just can't randomly disseminate that information. The other thing that I would like to do at this point in time is to take a moment and first of all thank all of the members of law enforcement who since Sunday afternoon haven't slept much and have been tirelessly dedicated to bringing this case to the posture that it's in today for us to be able to file it. The Sheriff's Office here in Shawnee County and Sheriff Herman Jones, the Topeka Police Department Chief Tony Kirk, the KBI Director Thompson, multiple FBI assets, ATF assets, the Marshal Service, the Kansas Highway Patrol, and the men and women who work in the District Attorney's Office here who have worked tirelessly to put this case in the posture to be able to get it charged today. The other thank you I would like to put out is for our media partners who, during the course of this investigation, were very quick in disseminating information to the public, which made it able for us to be able to bring the subject into custody much faster, informing the public as well that there was a present danger to them with these individuals on the loose. I also want to thank the Good Samaritans who helped out, who came to Corporal Harwood's aid and rendered first aid for him on Sunday afternoon. This is a tragic event. Our thoughts and prayers are with the Harwood family. They're with our law enforcement family and our community. We lost a great man and a dedicated police officer on Sunday, and I would ask that all of you keep that in mind and keep the Harwood family in your thoughts and prayers. At this point in time, I will stand for any questions that you might have. Just keep in mind the parameters that I laid out earlier. Start with Steve.
Why did he stop the car?
Steve, that's still part of the ongoing investigation, and I'm not in a position to be able to inform you of that right now. John?
Are you going to seek the death penalty?
Yes.
Are you still searching for anyone else?
The investigation is still ongoing at this point in time. What I will tell you is that at this point in time, we believe that there is no ongoing danger or threat to the public arising out of this situation, but the investigation does continue.
What about for the other people in the vehicle? Are you still searching for them?
I'm not in a position to be able to answer that at this point in time.
Can you say how many other people were in the vehicle?
I cannot.
Okay.
I cannot.
Can you talk about the caliber and type of weapon that was used?
It was a .40 caliber semi-automatic, make and model. I can't tell you that right now off the top of my head.
Pistol or rifle?
It was a semi-automatic handgun.
Do you have any idea what sparked when you pulled the trigger?
That goes into the facts of the case that go into the premeditation component of it, and I'm not at liberty to discuss that right now.
So you can't say if Lane was under the influence of alcohol or drugs?
I cannot.
Mr. Rydens, explain his role in this. Was he not in the car and he just picked him up somewhere on a motorcycle?
You obviously have been informed of information that I'm not allowed to disclose at this point in time. What I will tell you is that when you have here's the disconnect that we have. The Supreme Court rules haven't caught up yet with the change in the state law. So you're going to have information when you request those affidavits that I ethically can't stand here and talk about. And so that's kind of the disconnect that the vacuum that we're in right now at this moment. So what I will tell you is that when you make the requests that I'm assuming all of you are going to make to get the affidavits, that information will be forthcoming to you.
Can you talk
Yes.
about the factors that made you decide to seek the death penalty in this case?
Under state law, if you are engaged in an intentional premeditated killing and your target is a law enforcement officer, and there was no doubt or could be no doubt made that with the marked black and white Explorer that Corporal Harwood was driving, the red and blue lights, the fact that he was in his clearly designated Topeka Police Department uniform, there was, in my mind, there was no question that this would qualify under the statute. We've fact-checked every component of this to make sure that it does fit those parameters. It clearly does. And as the district attorney, I deem that filing a capital case in this situation is absolutely appropriate.
But there is an alternative, I believe, to seek life in prison as opposed to the death penalty. Talk about, was that something you discussed with the family, or what was the deciding?
I'm going to speak very generally right now about the filing of capital. Once you make the determination to file it under a capital statute, the ultimate imposition is death. The minimum imposition is life without the possibility of parole. So it fit those, the fact situation here fit those statutory structures, and so we made the decision to make the capital filing.
Right.
Okay. So as far as what the posture of the case is moving forward, I have not had an opportunity yet to sit and speak with the Harwood family about what their intentions or what their thoughts on this would be. I'm hoping to be able to do that later today, if not tomorrow.
But let's say they told you, look, we don't, and I have no knowledge of this, but let's say they say we don't believe in capital punishment, the death penalty. We understand that this is a capital case. We'd like you not to seek that penalty. Would that automatically make you say, okay? And
John, this will either be the fourth or fifth death penalty case that I filed since I've been the DA. And what I will tell you is that in every one of those situations, I sit down, I meet with the family. We have a very long discussion about what this process is going to entail, and I always seek and value their input. Obviously, they're the ones who have made that ultimate sacrifice in losing their family member or their loved one, but ultimately that decision rests with me.
You say Kurt Adams is the person from whom the gun was apparently stolen?
I'm not going to go into that right now. That's still part of the pending and ongoing investigation.
Can you talk about Williams?
I will tell you that Officer Harwood was struck 4 times. Obviously, one of those was a fatal wound, causing his death. And to go into more detail than that right now, I think would be inappropriate.
Was Harwood wearing a body camera that was not turned on?
I'm not going to comment on that. That's part of the pending and ongoing investigation.
Is whether he was wearing a vest, is that part of the investigation as well?
I will tell you that he was wearing a vest.
He was wearing a vest.
Yes.
You touched on this a few minutes ago, but you believe there is enough evidence to charge this as premeditated, not a lower degree of murder?
Yes.
Even though it was just a traffic stop?
Yes.
And you, again, you can't say why there was a traffic stop.
Not at this point in time.
Has the guy who's been charged, I'm assuming he's still in the county jail, no bond?
The status of the 2 defendants, they are both set for first appearance here in Shawnee County this morning for what is classified as an attorney check. Mr. Lane is presently being held on no bond. Mr. Riddens is being held on $1 million bond.
And when is that?
This morning.
This morning?
Yes, downstairs.
Is that a video first appearance?
Yes. Yep.
You wouldn't, and you don't know whether they've got attorneys yet?
That's what my understanding is that from their first appearance on Monday, neither one of them had requested nor wanted an attorney to be appointed to represent them. Based upon the minutes that I've reviewed of those hearings, and then obviously now that charges have been filed, my guess is that the court will go on ahead and will appoint counsel. Yes, Steve.
How was Mr. Lane so quickly identified? It seemed like it was minutes.
Again, that goes into thanking Good Samaritans, and that goes into part of the ongoing investigation and what we are prohibited from being able to talk about. You had another question.
I have questions.
Okay. Okay. Does anyone else have any other questions on this matter this morning? Thank you all for attending. And like I said, please keep the Harwood family and the law enforcement family here in Shawnee County in your thoughts and prayers. Thank you.